I feel like the violence is just people are being silenced for so long that that's the only way they feel like they're going to be heard. I don't condemn the violence. I hope we can protest peacefully.
You do condemn the violence.
I do not condemn the violence.
You don't?
I hope that people are going to try to protest peacefully. Some people who are being violent, they just want to be heard, and they've been ignored for so long that it gets frustrating that they go to violence.
So I'm going to challenge you on that. What if it was in your neighborhood? Would you be okay with your doors being smashed?
I would not be happy with my doors being smashed, but I probably would be out there with the other people.
Hey guys, what's up? This is Andrew Says. We're here on Yonge Street in the Black Lives Matter protest. Right now we're taking a knee behind me. We're trying to find out if people support defunding the police, if they support or condone the violence that's been happening in the U.S., or if we want to put a stop to it. Let's see what they have to say. Ma'am, you want to tell us what you're doing out here today?
You know what we're doing out here. I don't need to tell you.
Okay, why do you feel you need to march?
So that black people can be treated like human beings.
Okay, we've seen all the violence in the United States, and there's peaceful protests too, but there's also been violent ones. Do you condemn the violence? Do you think it's an excusable thing to do right now? How do you feel about it?
Well, you're confusing the protesters with the rioters. You're confusing three different groups, and you're lumping them all together. There's peaceful protesters like us, and there's people with their own agenda. Okay. So I don't want to hear about the violence. The violence has nothing to do with the peaceful protesters.
Do you excuse the violence? Are you against the violence? How do you feel about that?
I'm not going to comment on that violence unless you're talking about police violence against black and brown lives.
Okay, you can comment on both if you like.
I don't believe as a white person I have the right to say how the black people should protest after being oppressed for centuries.
Oppressed by who?
By the system and by racists.
There's a pandemic going on, but racism is also a pandemic. So screw the pandemic, screw our lives. There's people actually dying out there because of this stuff. That's why we need to be out here right now.
Honestly, my personal opinion is the violence is just an expression of what we are feeling. So, of course, we would like to keep everything peaceful.
I feel like the violence is just people are being silenced for so long that that's the only way they feel like they're going to be heard. I don't condemn the violence. I hope we can protest peacefully.
You do condemn the violence.
I do not condemn the violence.
You don't?
I hope that people are going to try to protest peacefully. Some people who are being violent, they just want to be heard, and they've been ignored for so long that it gets frustrating that they go to violence.
So I'm going to challenge you on that. What if it was in your neighborhood? Would you be okay with your doors being smashed?
I would not be happy with my doors being smashed, but I probably would be out there with the other people.
I can't speak about violent protests because I'm not in a violent protest right now.
Okay.
I can only speak about the positivity that all these people are here right now. This is what you need to show. You need to show that everybody was positive, following the rules, regulations. But Don't get it twisted. If the United States decides to burn down due to the racism and everything that black people are tired of down there, hell yeah, burn it down. But right now, we're all about peace. Up here showing that, we're coming together, and we understand that Black Lives Matter is the main situation, and that's why I'm here.
I've seen marches in Chicago. I've seen meetings between gang members, Crips, Bloods, and Farrakhan in LA. But the media doesn't show that because showing black on black crime is not a priority, and it doesn't get ratings because the general public says, oh, another black guy killed another black guy. I don't feel like watching that. But if a white guy kills a black guy, that makes news. If a different race kills a different race, that gets high ratings. Unfortunately, we need to change that because even if it's unconscious, it still puts a certain image in the minds of the citizens.
Black Lives Matter has a lot of statements saying defund the police. Do you agree with that or disagree?
I agree.
And why is that?
Because the system has been oppressing people for years, and defunding it and putting it into community projects will be much more beneficial for those communities.
Police budgets. In Toronto, the police budget is what? $1.5 billion. That's way too much money. That could be funding underprivileged communities. That could be funding schools that are impoverished. All of those things that don't get enough funding. When the police budget is so high, I don't think that's needed.
Absolutely. Right now, I think that needs to be defunded.
Completely?
Completely.
Who would protect people when they have an emergency?
Who's protecting people right now?
Do you agree with the Black Lives Matter thing that's going on right now of defunding the police?
Absolutely.
Do you agree with defunding the police?
Yes, I do, but only in light of defunding the police so that we can use that money more wisely to put in supports for people to keep kids
off the street and occupied.
Do you support defunding the police?
Yes, of course, yeah.
Of course. Why of course?
I don't want to touch it, sorry. I'm not ready for touching.
Refusefascism.org, are you part of them?
Yeah, I am part of it.
Okay, so you believe in everything, refuse fascism? So you're calling for a revolution? What kind of revolution?
Communist revolution.
Communist revolution? Can you give us some examples as to where communist revolutions have worked out?
My English maybe is not very...
Well, that's very convenient, man. That's very convenient.
And until you are black and you're a minority, you would never understand why those things are happening. So it's your job to educate yourself so you understand why these things are happening.
There's been a lot of violence at some of them in the U.S. Obviously, there's been peaceful ones too, but I just want to get a feeling here if people support or against the violence that's happened.
Those are outliers. I mean, why are we focusing on just one small thing that's happening rather than the entire movement as a whole?
I think people will express themselves how best they feel. We want to hope that it's peaceful, but people will do what they will do.
Honestly, I don't see too much of a problem with it right now. I understand.
Hey, can I challenge you on that?
States, of course.
How would you feel if the violence was in your neighborhood around your house?
I would understand it.
You don't understand the violence?
I would understand it.
People smash your windows, you're okay with that?
Are you trying to be controversial right now?
No, I'm just asking because you said you're okay with the violence.
I understand it. I
Okay.
understand the anger.
We've had this violence used against us for all these years. Nobody told anybody else to be peaceful. That was never the question.
When Black Lives Matter, a portion of them stopped the parade during the gay pride
Called
parade.
Trudeau a white supremacist as well.
Yo, that motherfucker did blackface, okay? That motherfucker did blackface, and it wasn't cool. And he did it from fucking head to toe, okay? And did it in a position where he's a white dude in a certain position where other people can't tell him not to do that, okay? He did not have the wherewithal with that, okay? No, is he a white supremacist? No, but is he fucking offensive sometimes? Absolutely. Did he do something that was fucking offensive? Absolutely.
Okay, a lot of the Black Lives Matters websites and factions, they believe in defunding the police. Do you agree with that or not?
Yes, I agree.
Do you agree with that or no?
I'm not gonna respond to that.
Man, of course defund the police, man. The police
entirely?
Yo, listen, the police are the biggest gang in the world, brother. Without their money, what can they do? What harm can they bring? And if you got suspended, you know what I mean, or you lost your job, or you lost your livelihood based off of what your actions of being a police officer when you're supposed to protect and serve, you should be defunded. You should be defunded. So defund the police, bro.
So who do people call in an emergency then?
Who do people call in an emergency? The right people.
With guns or without guns?
Without guns. You don't need a gun to be a policeman.
No, you don't?
You don't. They don't have guns in England.
That's BLM's official stance is defund police, abolish the police. You don't agree with that?
I think whatever will bring change, I agree with.
You know, the most important thing is to secure the future for our families. And I've seen this happen time and time again. And we can't blame all police, but we have to hold police accountable. I've got many friends and family who are police officers, love them dearly, but like any part of civilization, you're gonna have bad apples.
Police system.
Law in the States where the cops can't really ever get arrested for killing people or for hurting people. They're virtually protected by this corrupt government so that they can never actually do anything wrong.
That's it today, guys, from the Black Lives Matter March Toronto. We've had good answers, we've had bad answers. We have people who want to defund the police entirely. We have people who want to put funding towards other community initiatives. But please don't forget to go to journalismdefensefund.com. We've had to have security for this. We'll have to have it for further events. So please support us in any way you can. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Andrew says, and I'm out. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any further videos about this from any further marches. See you next time.